So I wanted to talk, and this is gonna be a little tricky because there are a lot of components to this, but I wanted to talk about defensiveness, and I'm inspired to talk about this based off of what I see sometimes happening in my comments and in the comments of other Black people who have been speaking up and out about allyship and Black Lives Matter on social media. Now, I will preface this with, I know that a lot of good love has happened, but there are also those moments where people get defensive with what I say or the tone in which I say it. And so I want to just take a second to kind of examine that, because I think what is playing out in the comments oftentimes plays out in real life. And so let's just examine it. So I think that the defensiveness comes from the fear that some of you will be perceived as racist. We've talked about this in the other video about white guilt and shame and your identity being challenged, right? So the same thing is happening here, right? Where you go into what I would call damage control. Damage control for your brand of being a good person. So when a Black person, or when I say, hey, that thing, don't say that. Ooh, don't do it like that. Or actually, I think what it should be is this. Or maybe it'd be better if you did this. Instead of going, oh, wow, I didn't think about it like that. Okay, cool. I'm not gonna do that again. Oh, really? You know what? I'm actually having a little trouble understanding. And if you have the emotional bandwidth, do you mind just explaining to me a little more? Here's my question about it. Instead of doing that, you go into anger, or you backpedal, or you panic. Oh my goodness, how could you say that? Don't twist my words. My other Black friend said, but all of that energy actually negates your allyship, right? Because now the Black person, or we'll just use me, has to receive all of that not great energy, right? And has to try and prove to you why what I'm saying has value and has merit. Because you are fighting me on what I've offered, as opposed to taking it and taking what parts of it work for your community, what parts of it work for our relationship, and that's it. I will also say there's a need to be perfect. And I want to remind you that you are not perfect, that your allyship will not be perfect. Some of you are brand new to being an ally. You've been doing it for a week, 2 weeks. So how could you expect that in 2 weeks, suddenly you know how to fully and thoroughly support Black people? You don't, right? So it would behoove you, it would be in your best interest and in the best interest of the people that you're supporting to listen to us when we say, this is what works, this is what doesn't work. And allow us to not have to fight you over it. The example I like to use is going to the doctor. You go to the doctor, you say, oh, my stomach hurts, I have a stomach ache. And he says, let me check your foot. You go, oh, no, honey. It's just my stomach hurts. And I think I might need, I don't know, like just some Tums or some Pepsid. And the doctor goes, okay, well, I'm a doctor, so I know what I'm doing. And I just had a patient and their foot was hurting. And my other patient, their foot was hurting. So I'm going to check your foot. And I really just don't appreciate that you're telling me that you need Tums. Because, that's not helpful. That doesn't feel good to receive, right? To be expressing what you need and how you would like to be helped. And then the person who's there to help you argues with you about it, fights you about it, tells you that they know better. about it? I'm going to save a couple lives right now. If you are not racist, you do not have to worry about being perceived as racist. The white people in my life who I talk to, and who when I say, ooh, that, honey, and they go, oh, okay, got that, and they do better, there is not a moment in that interaction where I think, ooh, racist. The people who want to fight me tell me that what I'm saying is not right and that they know better and that some other black person said this and that, but I want to give me their receipts and prove to me that why they said what they said and why they did what they did was right. That's when I go, ooh, okay. We got somebody. I smell a racist. Not even smell a racist. I just smell somebody who's more concerned with how they're being perceived, more concerned with their ego and how they're showing up, as opposed to being concerned with my life. Your brand is not at stake. Black lives are. And so I encourage you, the next time that you read a post or you read an article or you watch a video and you get tense at what the black person is saying and you want to fight them about it, or when a black person that you're interacting with in real life says, ooh, don't do that or don't say that, and you get tense, I would get curious about what that is and why that's happening. I would ask the question, am I racist? If the answer is no, which I think most of you that are on this page and have watched the video up until this point, it's probably a no, then you don't have to worry about that. So there's no reason to get upset. You've just been given some new information so that you can grow your allyship, so you can be better at being an ally. And that's the goal, right? Not to be perfect, not to have it all figured out. The goal is to support, to elevate, to protect Black lives. Remember that. Just hold that somewhere in your space. Remember that.